an example came up and it involved anxiety and fear. And it was really, I was shown an area in my life where I was facing fear. And instead of really facing it, I was kind of displacing it. And so, we're always living and learning. And it came during a week where there was a lot of responsibility that fell on me. It was a week that my kids were not sleeping right either. So I wasn't sleeping right. And it was a week where there had been a lot of talking and quieting the emotions to be filled with God's comfort and strength. It was just a week where there were so many lessons unfolding in the midst, but I had to be quiet because the surrounding noise can get so loud sometimes. And it was like I was having a week of emotions, but I was in charge of everyone else's emotions. And so I needed to not hide away from the emotions, but I needed to hide in the comfort of God's arms and trust Him even deeper than I ever had before because He was showing me things I needed to work on. And yet I wanted to protect my children. I didn't want them to see that. I wanted them not see the emotions. I'm not hiding away my emotions, but I wanted them to understand how to fight in faith. And this was an opportunity that when I thought back to things and, having one of those weeks or having those seasons and recognizing that God is in the midst of them, I wanted my children to see, what does it look like to intentionally seek God? We don't need to just survive. We can thrive. And I am really beginning to learn that once again, when we turn our focus to who God is and what He is providing and changing our self-focused thinking into God-focused, we see that there are these opportunities all the time where God is just asking us to lean into Him and trust Him. We don't need to do it on our own. We don't need to carry it on our own. We are commanded to love God, love others, and I truly believe that loving others is serving them. We don't properly do that if we're holding on to bitterness or resentment. I need to be careful to not allow fear to paralyze me from being able to show love the way I need to show love. And so when I realized this, and it's my responsibility to teach others now what I wish I had learned, the wisdom and truth of God's word, and what that looks like realistically, not just like listing out scriptures and praying my kids understand what it means, but really teaching them, what does it look like to live this out? And so that week, I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't hiding God's word. I wasn't running to Him as my refuge. I recognized it. And that is the part we need to do. Like I had been displacing the fear, but I had to recognize it. So I needed to take up the shield of faith and put on the rest of the armor. And I needed to face the fear. But I realized it during prayer time in the morning when my eyes were so tired. And I said to God, like, this doesn't feel right. What am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong. I just in the humility of, I'm doing something wrong, please help me. And it's really where I heard the prompting of, you are not facing fear, but you're displacing it. And in fact, that was exactly what I was doing. I was avoiding it. I was putting it not on somebody else, sort of, I guess, on someone else and depending on someone else, which wasn't a bad thing to lean on for help and to ask for help. But instead, God wasn't asking me to do that. He was telling me, give it to me and step up as the leader and the teacher and model this. As I model this for you and show you step by step what to do, I want you to model this for your children. And so I started to feel defeated because I was